Guys, welcome to the regular. As you can see, we're already having a great time today. Hopefully you are too. We know a lot of people are watching this in this season for their home groups. And so if you are watching for your home group, hey home groups, we love you. I hope you're having a great time. Excited to have Allison and Ethan, mother and son, joining us today. We're in a really exciting, I think, sweet season at Risen King where a lot of the team is new in the last couple of years, and we're moving into a season where we get going, hey, we're getting outside of the walls of the building, and we're getting to focus on things on the outside, and how do we serve, and how do we love, and what is church? Asking some questions like that. What is church all about? What are we supposed to be doing? Is it come and attend on a Sunday, or is there more to this? And I think this morning, before we even get into it, just this is going to serve as your invitation into more. I want to share briefly, you're going to get to hear their story as a family in a couple of weeks, but I want to just for a moment give a little recap, and then we're going to give them the opportunity to kind of share some things. But Allison and Chad's our security team director, they got pregnant really early. Allison was 16 years old when they were pregnant with Ethan and went through a lot of stuff to be where they're at today. They've got two amazing kids who love the Lord. It's a family that's deeply connected. You'd be hard pressed to find a family that loves each other more than the four of them. And then Quinn, of course, their son-in-law. It's just these five just literally emanate family love and connection in a really, really beautiful way. But that's not how the story started that you're going to get to hear. But the reason that I wanted them to share this morning is because we really have this core value at Risen King that church isn't something you attend, but it's a body that you're a part of. And we get that from Scripture, of course. And this last week, I made a statement where I said, and I was referring to Ephesians 4. And I want to read that, and then we're going to talk about how you guys view this too. Yeah. Where I said, as a pastor, I don't think it's my job to feed you as the church. I believe that it's my biblical calling to teach you how to feed others. And it's a huge paradigm shift because a lot of times we look at the church as it's our job to feed. It's the pastor's job to feed the flock or to feed the sheep. And you have all these analogies, and many of them come from the Bible. But it really ultimately can lean towards this idea that church is something that I'm supposed to come to get something from. And I think there's truth to that, right? Like we are to be community to each other. There are things that we receive from being a part of a community, no doubt. But today the conversation's framed around, well, if I'm a part of the church, what am I supposed to give out? Not what am I supposed to receive, right? And Ephesians 4:11 and 12 says this. So Christ himself gave the apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, teachers. First of all, this is where we get the fivefold ministry model, which is a ministry model that we believe in and we subscribe to at Risen King. And then he goes on, and I love this part. So again, in context, Christ gave these 5 offices of the church and of ministry for what purpose? To equip his people for works of service so that the body of Christ may be built up. That's a pretty big paradigm shift, and I'll be honest, I don't see that in the modern church very often. What tends to happen is churches turn into staffs that create a spiritual event for people to be a part of. And one of the things that we're working really hard on at Risen King, sometimes doing great, sometimes not, is what does it mean to actually equip people for service? What does it mean to create space for people to get involved in what's going on? And so I'd love for you guys to kind of just talk about the power of that verse. What does that mean to you? How are you involved? When you read that and you see what's going on at Risen King, what does it say to you?
Yeah. You want to go first?
Sure.
Go for it.
For me, I definitely feel like being able to have people come alongside you, like not just depending on going to church and listening to your pastor. But for me, when I was in my situation, when I was 16 years old, I had a youth pastor who came alongside me, supported me outside of the church. So he would make sure that he was really my advocate. Like he discipled me, he mentored me. He found other women that were older that he really advocated to come into my life to help support me in the things that I was going through. I had one mentor, actually, I met her when I was 23 years old. I'm 42, and she's been in my life for the last 18, 20 years. the kids know her as like a surrogate grandma.
Yeah.
Her name's Donna, and I met her at a Bible study, and she really kind of just adopted me. She saw this young mom who had 2 kids. I was 23 and had like a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and she came alongside me. She brought me into her life.
Yeah.
So she had me come over, and while she was running errands, while she was doing dishes, while she was just brought me into her normal part of life. And I feel like that's what I want to do. That's what I want to like. I want to be able to really come alongside other women that are younger than me and not just see them at church and say hi and kind of talk formalities, but how can we get involved in each other's lives?
Yeah.
How can I come alongside you?
I love it. So here's a question for you, Allison. What would you say the most memorable sermon you ever heard that youth pastor preach was?
Yes, I know the point you're getting to, and it's that I don't remember.
Do you?
I don't remember.
Do you remember any of his messages?
No, I mean, he was a youth pastor, so he obviously talked about
Probably sex, which you didn't listen to that message, obviously.
true.
But I think the thing I want to point out is the church in general has become so service stage heavy. It's so focused on the worship team and the sermon. And yet the most impactful thing in your life was that he was able to connect you with women that were able to be the church, that were trained to serve in ministry. Maybe they weren't trained, they were just willing.
Yeah.
And that's what got you through being a teen mom.
Yeah. I would say they weren't trained. I would say they were just normal women who loved God and who were willing to invite me into their life and celebrate me.
Here's the thing that I find to be the hardest for me. I don't know, as the pastor of Risen King, granted, I've only been doing this for 2 years, so, there's lots to learn still. I struggle and I pray and I would say even toil. How do we help people realize that their life is more impactful than the Sunday sermon? Because what you just said to me proved that. You were rejected by Christians. You were excommunicated from certain circles. You had to move out of your house with your parents. You had to move into another house. I mean, I would venture to say, if you thought back to 25 years ago when you were going through that season, you could maybe remember a sermon, maybe one in that 5-year period, but I doubt you could. And yet we think the sermon or the worship setting, or we all think stage ministry. And I think that we're deeply missing the heart cry of living room ministry, of car ride ministry, whatever label you want to put on it. And I think how do we help communicate this in a way that people realize that the small setting is oftentimes more powerful than the large setting?
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate because I really feel like we over spiritualize it. Even mentoring and discipleship, I feel like it's so over spiritualized. Like people do think like they need to be at a certain standard or they need to have certain training or whatever, but it's really not that, because I think the other thing is that we're all sinners. We all have struggles. I feel like we need to normalize having conversations about struggles or sin that people don't feel ashamed to talk about. Like, it's not fun to talk about it, but to feel like you have a safe place that you can come to. Even right now, community group season. Perfect example. It's a time where you can really come together, share your struggles.
in our group, we're in the same group, Allison and Chad and Kate and I, we jokingly said, let's all share our greatest marriage fight. And then we became a not joke and we all went around the circle and did it.
I can't believe we did it.
It was kind of fun though.
It was.
Like it gave us a window.
It humanizes everybody.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it gives you this window into, oh wait, no one else is Jesus either. Jesus is the only Jesus out there.
Yeah.
So we have to realize that.
Yeah.
Right. And I think if you were to look back, and we'll give Ethan, I want to have you jump in too, because you do some really cool stuff here at Risen King. But I want to have you jump in, Alan. And like, if you were to think back, is there a moment? Is there an action that somebody did? Was there a thing that you can remember back that was like, wow, that really helped me, impacted me? If it wasn't for that, I don't know how different the story might be.
Yeah. I mean, this is a really big a really big thing. There was a family when I was in my Christian school when I was 16 and I found out I was pregnant. The school didn't know how to handle that situation, so they asked me to leave the school. And there was a family that their children attended the school as well, and they found out about it, and they asked the principal, and then they got connected with my youth pastor, asked how they could come alongside me. They asked me to move into their house.
Oh my gosh.
So at 16 years old, my parents were struggling at the time and dealing with different addictions and different hard things, and definitely wasn't happy that I was pregnant at 16. They separated me and Chad from seeing each other, so we didn't get to see each other until I was probably 7 months pregnant.
Wow.
And so I felt alone, isolated, scared.
Yeah.
And this family said, we want her to move in with us. We want to help take care of her. We just want to be Jesus to her. They didn't have like some agenda or whatever. They just invited me into their house. So I lived with them for 6 months. And
that's huge.
They helped take care of me. And that is huge. And I don't think that, you might listen to that and be like, oh, wow, I don't think I could have somebody move in with me or live with me, but you can invite them over.
Yeah, you can have dinner on a Friday night.
You can have dinner.
You can have coffee. Yeah, you can give rides.
That's actually a huge one. When Ethan and Ella were growing up, for a long time, me and Chad only had one vehicle.
Yeah.
I think Ethan remembers, but like all of his elementary school years, I homeschooled them for like the first part, but when they were in 5th grade, they started going to school. I did not have a car. And this mom from their school came every single morning and picked us up and took them to school and brought them home from school. And so, I think that we overthink how we can really, like, that was
Great,
a huge
Allison.
thing.
Yeah, it's really good. Well, and I think we need to start maximizing the small and minimizing the big in our own head, right? Like, I'm not saying, obviously, like, I'd be an idiot to trivialize preaching and worship, because the Bible does tell us that matters and that's important and that's valuable.
Yeah.
100% is. I just don't think it's more valuable than showing up. I think it's equally as valuable as showing up. I actually think that woman and that family made as big of an impact as the best sermon I've ever preached. Probably, honestly, more. I think they've made more of an impact, in your life. Now, what I love about your family is God has used other people that stepped out of the stereotypical Christian church role. They clearly weren't attenders if they're willing to go that far for people. These are, I'm in. I'm more than an attender. I am the church. Let me help this young girl. What's powerful is it's bled into your kids. I mean, Ella and Ethan and Quinn, I'm going to just add Quinn because he's the son-in-law and he's phenomenal too. But they are lovers of people. They give their time. Yeah. Ethan, I mean, how long have you been serving in the youth team?
I've been serving with high school. I think I just hit a year now.
And what's that look like for this last year?
Yeah.
What kind of time commitment is that? What is that entailed?
Yeah. I mean, at first it was just Wednesday nights, and now over the
That's
last...
how they hook you.
Yeah. They said it would just be
come on Wednesday
one
nights
night
for
a week. Yeah.
It'll be light work, they said.
A year later, I'm at the church every day. No, I'm just kidding. Not every day. No, but I think, right now it just looks like, I think in the best way possible, it's grown into a bigger time commitment because our youth is growing.
Yeah.
When I first started, we had maybe 8 regular attendees. Now just last week, I think we had 32 youth
just
high
in
schoolers.
High school.
Just in high
that's
school.
Amazing.
And that's so exciting.
400% growth in a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's wild.
And I do think that a part of that is, just as we've seen the youth grow, we've realized as a team, we need to grow, just how we can pour into these high schoolers and what more we can do. And so,
why do you like doing it? Do you like doing it? Are you like suffering through it and trying to get out?
No, I love it. I honestly, I couldn't picture my week without a Wednesday night youth group.
Wow.
I really couldn't. I can't lie. I think part of my motivation to get into it was that didn't ever want to stop going to youth group.
There you go. And he still drinks chocolate milk.
I
so
still drink chocolate milk.
This tracks, actually.
Yeah, no, I think it was my own self desire to still go to youth group
fair.
and feel like a
I
high
really
schooler.
wanted to go to youth conference and not feel like a creeper, so I became a leader.
Yeah, it was a neglection of becoming an adult. I just wanted to still feel like I was in
love
high
it.
school. So, but on a more serious level, I since I was part of high school youth group, and the second I came out of it, when I got into college, I mean, before even moving to Reading, I got involved with youth ministry anywhere I could.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I don't know exactly what the pin is for what made my heart so big for that. My guess would be, I think, the story that, you know, my family has walked through, and my sister and I, growing up with very young parents, I think I feel like I've had a lot of softness throughout the years for children who, I mean, I think growing up, I don't think there would be a lot of kids that would be like, know exactly what my sister and I were going through.
Yeah, sure.
Know that we came from such a, just like, you know, like
Challenging
younger parents and everything. And so I think for me, growing up and going through high school youth group and then getting the opportunity to serve, I was like, man, I could potentially create an impact that my youth pastors got to make an impact on my life, because who knows what they could be going through? Who knows what the high school youth group kids at Risen King could be going through that they're not talking about, that no one knows about.
Yeah, it's great.
But it's just could be an opportunity for me to just have a small impact. It doesn't need to be huge, but just to be there for them if something goes on in their life. And I think for myself, I'm like, I don't want them to miss out on that opportunity to have
awesome.
someone pour into them when they need someone to be there.
Yeah, I love it. Well, as we wrap up, it's pretty clear, you know, I think the takeaway today, and is if you're watching this as a home group, here's what I encourage you guys to ask yourselves. Go around and answer, where are you serving? Whether that's like in part of Risen King, youth team, host team, kids. We're in a season right now. It's really a season of opportunity. It's an opportunity. It's a season where you have the opportunity to get involved with various things, from the host team and hospitality and the care team. So excited. We have over 20 people that signed up to be on the care team to support people if they're, in need or hurting in the church. But also it's a season of opportunity because we're getting outside of the walls of our building, where we're focusing on Shiloh Farms and North State Care Clinic and the Good News Rescue Mission. So here's what I'd love for you to do. If you're watching this in a home group, if you're not, ask this to yourself. Where are you currently serving? And if you're not currently serving, why? And I want to tell you right now, I'm going through a hard season. Is it an acceptable answer? Don't let that be an answer that you accept. Because sometimes even the hard season, we actually have to get focused on somebody else to find our own healing.
Yeah.
We get focused on somebody else, we actually find our own way out of our own challenges. And so this is a season of opportunity at Risen King. Don't let it pass you by. Talk about where you're serving. Talk about why you're serving there or why you haven't gotten involved with serving. And then share make a personal self-commitment to the next month. What are you going to do in the next month that is focused on someone else?
Yeah.
Not yourself. Risen King, we love you. We'll see you Sunday. Thanks, Ian L.
Yeah.
Ian L.
Ian L.
Ian L out.
Yeah.